Namaste. We're going to do a short practice. I'm going to share this short practice with you. This is a sort of thing that you might do at the end of a busy day. It's just very short, hopefully very sweet. Try and restore your breath. Give your body a chance to rest better. It also might be useful if you're very worked up, very anxious, can't really settle. Might just help you get yourself out of that groove and put yourself into rest and relax mode. So again, really simple movement, nothing very exciting, because that's exactly what we don't want to do, right? When your body's all and hyped up. Or if you feel like you've been busy, go, and you need something just to settle. Change the groove. So, you might need a rolled up blanket, a pillow, something at one end of your mat. And then we're going to start this practice back to floor. Okay, knees bent so the feet are on the floor. And again, park your feet where they're comfortable. You don't have to be symmetrical, okay? You might want one foot turned in and one foot slightly further forward. Again, whatever is comfortable for you. If your head tends to tilt backwards, that can be really unhelpful for the neck, and it also doesn't do anything good for the blood supply to the brain. So if that happens to you, either just pick up the head and tilt it forward, or you can put something like a folded up blanket, a small pillow, half a block, even a nice fat book behind your head, so that you have your neck slightly lengthened and maybe the chin slightly lower than the forehead. And then find comfortable places for your elbows and have your hands on the floor. Beside you, little fingers on the floor with the palms facing inwards. And then you don't need your eyes, because we're not balancing, we're not standing. So you can just let the eyes gently close. And I don't mean eyes tight shut. The top eyelid is just gently resting over the eyeball. Soften any tension in the jaw. And then I'm trying to take the focus of the breath away from the nostrils and put it into the throat, into that notch of the neck. So you may be able to hear that soft sighing sound. And if I was in the room with you, I might be able to hear it too. It's almost like a baby snoring, almost as if we're about to engage the larynx, but then we don't. And just wait for your breathing to settle. So you take a few breaths, noticing the natural rhythm of your breath today. It changes all the time, and the chances are, if you've been quite busy or you're feeling a bit stressed or anxious or wound up, the breath might be a little ragged, might be a little strained. So don't try and strain the breath. Just let the breath settle down into the natural, spontaneous breath that your body's choosing right now. And then notice the length of the breath in. Notice there's a pause at the end of the breath in. Notice the length of the breath out, and notice there may be a pause at the end of the breath out. So in fact, although we talk about in-breath and out-breath, or inhale, exhale, there are in fact four sides to that breath. Now when we move in yoga, we try and have it so that all of the movement is within the breath. So the chain of events is the breath starts moving, we start moving, we complete the movement, and then we complete the breath. So the breath acts as a frame. It starts and completes every movement. So when you're ready, count a second for the breath in next, and then begin to lift your arms up and back. Soft elbows. You can have something behind your head, like I have, to rest the hands on as you complete that stretch. And as you breathe out, you bring your hands beside the body. Now, if your arms feel really heavy, you can slide them across the floor like an angel. Inhale, hands up and back. Exhale, bring the hands beside the body. So every time you're breathing in, you lift the arms. Feel how the chest stretches as you have your hands behind the head. And every time you breathe out, you bring the arms beside the body. Breath starts to move, then you start to move. Complete the movement and then complete the breath. And please notice how that arm movement is helping you open the chest and helping the chest expand as you inhale. And how when you bring your arms beside you, how the rib cage is naturally relaxing. Hi, Mitzi. Arms into that stretch, breathing in. And on the next exhale, lift one foot and bring the hands either in front of the shin if you can reach, or behind the knee if you can, as you breathe out and draw the knee to the chest or the belly to the thigh. Inhale, hands up and back, foot to the floor. Exhale, other foot lifts, left foot maybe. Hands in front of the shin or behind the knee. Finish the breath out. Breathe in, foot to the floor, hands up and back. And again, notice how the movement you're making is assisting the natural movement of the breath. When you draw your thigh towards the belly, the pelvis tilts. Maybe you can feel your tailbone lift. And that's helping you breathe out more deeply. And how you stretch your arms behind you, and that helps you breathe in more deeply. And again, notice those 4 parts of the breath. If there's a pause in your breath, then just be patient and don't rush through that pause. If the breath is moving, you're moving. If the breath is pausing, you're pausing. And then perhaps the next time you have your right knee to the chest, keep it there. You might want to step your left foot slightly further away. Relax the shoulders and arms. Feel the chest and the belly press towards the thigh as you breathe in. Try not to roll to one side. If you've rolled onto the right hip, keep pressing down with the left back print, so we avoid twisting the spine. Maybe 1 or 2 more breaths here. And then you put that right foot down on the floor and you bring the left knee to the chest. Park the right foot where it's comfortable. Hands either in front of the shin bone, clasped, or behind the knee. Weight spread equally across the back print. Notice how the chest and belly stretch towards the thigh on the breath in. And how the belly moves back towards the spine. As you breathe out. If you notice anything that is restricting in the movement in the hip, if anything is clenched or tense, let it relax, even the foot or the toe. One more breath here. And then gently, both feet on the floor, find comfortable footprints. Hands away from the body so the thumbs are further away from you than your little fingers. Elbows soft, shoulders heavy. Take a few breaths. Notice how the chest and belly naturally expand on the inhale. Notice how the belly falls back towards the spine as you exhale. And notice, please, those 4 parts of your breath. Okay, so from here, making it as easy as possible. Life's hard enough. You don't want to make it more difficult. Maybe bring the feet together and roll onto your right hip. You can have a pillow or your bolster, or you could use your right hand behind the head, resting your head on the right arm. And have your feet sort of vaguely in line with your hips and shoulders. Put the left hand on your left waist. Now this is just to make sure you're not overworking. If you can feel that elbow waggling around, you know you're working too hard. So keeping the feet together, as you inhale, lift the left knee away from the right one. As you exhale, bring the knee back down. So it's not the hip and shoulder that are moving, it's just the knee. Inhale, lift the knee. Exhale, let it rest. So the legs are moving like a clam. The upper leg, the left leg, is moving away from the lower leg. Keep the feet together. Inhale one more time, lift the knee. Exhale, bring it down. And then gently and slowly, you can roll over onto your left side. Find your balance, maybe balance your hand behind the head or use a pillow to support the neck. Feet in line with the spine. And inhale, lift the right knee away from the left leg. Try not to waggle your elbow, hand in the waist. So we're going to do 3 or maybe 4 breaths here. Inhale, knees come apart like a clam. And exhale, bring the knees together. And then when your knees are next together, again, making it as gentle as possible. Roll over so that you're on your belly, belly down. Have the hands, palms down, and the forehead on the back of the hands. Have the toes together. And the heels can be flopping out. So the head is slightly raised from the floor. And every time you breathe in, you can feel that chest expanding into the floor. Every time you breathe out, you can feel the belly lifting, moving inwards and upwards towards the spine. So again, don't use your hands. If you feel that you're using your hands and elbows, then you're possibly straining the shoulders. So relax the shoulders, let them melt. And as you inhale, increase that back arch. Don't look forward, keep looking at the back of the hands if you've got your eyes open. And as you exhale, you come down. So you're just lifting the forehead away from the hands as you're breathing in. Taking a ride, if you like, on the breath. And you let your head get heavy at the end of the breath out on the back of the hands. And again, notice those 4 parts of the breath. Again, it's only a small movement, so there's lots of time for you to count a second before you start moving and then complete the movement before you complete the breath. And anytime you like, in the next breath or so, You can roll over on your back. Again, make it gentle movement. You don't have to hurry. It doesn't have to look pretty. Again, park your head so your neck is long and your chin is lower than your forehead, and lift your feet one at a time so you have your hands on your knees. Again, flat palms on the flat parts of the knees. Maybe give your feet a little kick to relax your feet and ankles. When you're ready, when the breath is settled, as you inhale, press the fronts of your knees into the fingers. The arms will straighten. Maybe the spine lifts a little bit as the pelvis tilts away from you. And as you breathe out, press the knees into the hands. Thigh bones come closer to you. Maybe the back flattens. Belly moves back towards the spine. Elbows bending. So inhaling, pelvis tilts away from you. Belly rises. Exhaling as you fold. Moving when the breath is moving. Pausing when the breath is pausing. Again, it's not a big movement, so you've got plenty of time to start the breath and start the movement, and then complete the movement, complete the breath. And again, in the next breath or so, don't make it more difficult than it needs to be. You can step your feet to the floor one at a time. And park your feet in comfortable footprints. Let go of any tension in the thigh muscles, in the buttocks. Slide your hands away from you on the floor so that they are about shoulder height. Again, you can roll your chin towards the shoulder to make sure the hand is at shoulder height, not in front of the head, it's in front of the shoulder. And then as you breathe out, roll over your feet and let the knees go down to the right as the chin drops down to the left. Finish that breath out and wait for the breath in to come right back to the center. Finish that breath in. As you're breathing out, roll into the twist. This time your legs go left and your chin goes right. Again, notice the natural logic of this. Notice that as we breathe out, we're moving into a twist. And as you breathe in, you're coming back to neutral. So the twist is helping you breathe out. It's helping the diaphragm move upwards against the bottom of your lungs. And we have to unwind to breathe in. And again, notice those two pauses. At the pause at the end of the exhale, you are briefly in that twist. Soft jaw, let your face fall off a bit. And at the pause at the end of the inhale, you've got the weight even in both hips, both feet, both shoulders, both hands, both side, or your weight right in the middle of the back of the head. Moving when the breath is moving. And pausing when the breath is pausing. Now we started this movement with a twist with the knees going to the right. So anytime you like, you can finish this movement with the knees going to the left. Don't rush, plenty of time. And then you come back to your neutral position. Maybe bring the hands and elbows a little closer so that you have your hands away from the body, but the backs of the hands are resting on the floor, or maybe the knuckles, or maybe you need to put something behind the wrists to support the hands if they're hanging. Maybe you want to leave your knees bent and just park your feet slightly further away. Maybe it's comfortable for your lower back to slide your feet towards the corners of your mat. Wave with your feet to loosen up the knees. And then let the toes flop out to the sides. Draw the chin in so you know the back of the neck is long. Notice any changes in the breath. Noticing the 4 parts to that breath. So when the breath has settled into its new rhythm, and then we're going to do one more asana, following the breath. So you can bring your hands closer to the body, palms facing inwards, feet either hip width apart or together, toes touching. And when you're breathing in, you stretch the arms behind you. Rest them on the floor behind you, soft elbows. Breathing out, draw the belly back towards the spine. When you breathe in, stretch your hands and feet away from you so you feel the back arching. You might have pointed toes or stretching away with the heels, whatever comes naturally to you. And as you breathe out, let the legs relax and bring the hands beside the body. So arms up and back as you inhale. Soft elbows so you can park the hands. Breathe out as much as you can. Use the belly. Full body stretch as you inhale. Hands back beside you as you exhale. One more time. Arms up and back, breathing in. Breathe out as much as you can. Take a full body stretch on the next breath in. And then bring your hands beside the body, breathing out. Park your feet slightly wider apart and do absolutely nothing. Just watching those 4 parts of the breath. And try and let that breath now get completely quiet. So if I was in the room with you, I wouldn't be able to hear your breathing. Let go of any tension in the jaw, soft jaw. Let go of any tension around the eyes, so the eyeballs feel like they sink a bit. And imagine that you're lying perhaps on nice warm sand just at the edge where the sea is lapping the shore. And every time you're breathing in, the waves are just washing you. Nice warm water, just washing, lapping the body. And every time you breathe in, the water gently ebbs back into the ocean. So every time you breathe, you're getting washed by the breath. Let the waves wash you clean as you inhale. Taking away any stress, any tension or tiredness back into the ocean as you breathe out. Let the ocean wash you clean. Washing away any stress you brought with you onto the mat from your day. Every time the wave washes over you, it washes you clean. And every time the wave retreats back into the ocean, it takes with you anything you no longer need. And you can stay here for as long as you like. If you don't want to move now, then please don't. Take your time. And when you're ready, that's when you can gently and slowly come back to life. That's when you can resolve to get on with the rest of your day. Let the waves wash you clean. Namaste.